Let me see. Oh, look. Make this bigger. All right. Thanks everybody for coming. Really appreciate it. Welcome to the masterpiece. Welcome to the masterpiece season. Our recording has officially started. Da, 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 da. I'm so glad you guys made it. I know it's really hard to get here from school at this time. Some of you guys are driving and stuff. I'm so glad you're able to make it today. So just a few housekeeping things. No students today, please. Just you guys and us. No parents, just coaches, unless you're a parent and a coach at the same time. Please limit your logins for today to 2 per team. If you have any questions, go ahead and put it in the chat. We will get all the questions and answer them at the end. And then if we still haven't answered them, you're more than welcome to ask them. And yeah, all right, cool. So I just want to introduce you to the FLL planners. This is all of us, and some of us have specific roles. We all kind of do everything and double up in places and triple up sometimes, but these are all of the FLL planners. Different than Hawaii First Robotics Board. Some of us do both, some do not, okay? But these are our roles for First Lego League. Okay, so I am going to just take the screen off, and I wanted to introduce myself. I'm Luana. I know most of you have seen me around for many, many years, but I'm Luana, and I'm one of the state head refs, but this year I'm kind of working with facilities for our state championship. Next.
Okay, I'm Derek. I'm gonna take over as the state head ref because usually I do facilities over at Blaisdell. So me and Luana are kind of just switching for the year.
David? Oh, no, David's not ready yet. Maria, you want to go? Well, that's Maria. You want to introduce yourself?
Hi there. I thought David was ready to go. Maria
No.
told me, thank you very much all for being here, and thanks for all your work. It's awesome.
So Maria is our district tournament coordinator. So she sends out a lot of the emails, assigning teams to tournaments and things like that. A lot of communication comes from Maria. David, you ready?
Yeah, sorry. Getting confused over here which side I'm looking at, but I'm David Arakaki. I am the state judge advisor, so we'll be going over some of the things from interviews a little later on in the presentation. Okay, thank you.
Chris?
Hi, I'm Chris. I will be one of your head referees for your qualifiers and for the states.
Dule?
Hi, I'm Sarah Dule. I will be running the award ceremony for states, and I'll be dropping in on some of the districts for referee also.
Sarah Iverson? I don't know if you could jump in front of the camera. There you go.
Hello, I'm Sarah. I've been emailing you if you have sent your money in with a receipt, and if you need an invoice, let me know because I can send that to you as well. And then I'm also going to be helping out with the Kapolei District tournament.
Can you get Teresa on there to say hi? I'd love to introduce her also.
Hi, I'm Teresa Gagnon. I remember some of you. I am helping out, co-chairing with Sarah on the Kapolei District Tournament.
And I actually saw John Sandvik in here. Don't know if you can say hi. Possibly, maybe not. Oh,
hi, sorry. Zoom is not being my friend today. John Sandvig. I, along with Tyson Kikugawa, run the Mililani district.
I saw Malia on.
And Michelle, yeah, Malia and Michelle are both on.
Yeah. I'm not sure if they're gonna. Malia and Michelle are, they run the Kalakaua tournament. Okay. I think that was it that I saw on.
Oh, there's Michelle.
Hi.
Oh,
Yep.
there's Michelle. There we go. Very good. And I think Kyle, you're head judge in Kalakaua, right?
That's correct, judge advisor.
Judge advisor. All right. I think I got everybody. Did I miss anybody? I think that's it. All right, guys, we're gonna go back into our presentation. Thank you so much. Okay. So this is the calendar. I've been kind of sending it out already. Maria's been sending it out to you. So for your volunteers, they need to be trained at least once before the qualifying tournament. And then these are the dates and times and locations for that. So the 21st and then the 26th. So if a Saturday is better than Saturday, if not, then a Thursday evening. Same exact training. These are the qualifying tournaments that we'll be having. So 4 on Oahu, 1 on Hawaii Island. And then these are the names of the tournament coordinators. So if you've been assigned to a tournament already, you'll be receiving emails from your tournament coordinators also. These are also the people that you need to send your volunteers to, names of your volunteers to, okay? FLLC Championship and Explore Expo will be at Waialua High and Intermediate School on December 2nd, which is a Saturday. Okay, so the actual facilities are going to look a lot different this year, but I think it'll be great, guys. I think it'll be really good. All right, so I know I saw a lot of returnees. I saw a couple new names also, but this is a typical general qualifying tournament format. So teams arrive depending on the tournament at about 7:30, 8 o'clock. They check in and then report to the pit where there are normally a practice table. Most tournaments will have interviews first. Once interviews are done, then the matches will happen after that. In between is normally a lunch break. Okay. After the matches, it takes a little bit of time for final awards to be calculated. And then there'll be an awards ceremony. Derek, why don't you go ahead and talk about the advancement?
So because, I mean, due to space and just the number of teams that we currently have registered, we're not going to be able to have everybody who participates go in advance. So we decided as a board, we're going to have the top 50%. So the top half of the teams at every tournament gain an automatic invitation to states. And then everybody else is going to be an alternate. So we're going to fill up the rest of whatever up to capacity that we can with that pool, just randomly choosing from the list of alternates. And so our last tournament is the Kalani tournament on November 10th. So as soon as that is done and I get all the results and I know who's invited, we can go ahead and start choosing the alternates. And we're gonna try to get all the alternates notified by that following Monday. That's my goal.
So be sure that if you're chosen as an alternate and you're invited by Derek, that you accept in a timely manner so that if he needs to go on to the next team, that he can. Okay, and don't forget to, the biggest qualification is that a team must fully participate in a qualifying tournament. This means that the team must do the innovation project, the core values interview, the robot design interview, and participate in the robot game. Okay. Anything else, Derek?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. David?
So for those of you who participated last year, the rules and the procedures and the format of the interviews are pretty much the same this year. If you did participate last year, participated years past, it's changed a lot. So in the past, we used to have separate interviews for each of the different categories as far as the innovative project, the robot design, and for core values. But now it's become a 30-minute time slot, so 1 30-minute interview. So there are 3 parts to the interview, that the interviews that each team has to go through. But you'll be given a 30-minute slot, and within that 30-minute slot, and all of this information and resources can be found on the coach's handbook, or it could be on the website, anywhere there, as far as the flow of what the interviews is actually going to be. But basically, they're going to go through a 5-minute innovative project presentation. So they have 5 minutes to go through innovative project. And again, it's a maximum of 5 minutes. Keep that in mind for your students, because in order for it to be fair to everybody, it's 5-0-0. It's they don't get 5 minutes and 1 second. The judges will cut you off at 5 minutes, just because, again, to be fair to everybody. That one's pretty strict, stringent as far as making sure that everybody has the right amount of time to present with. Everybody has to present a problem and solution. So it's not just a here's the research that I did. All of the team should have started with a problem that they can, based on what the masterpiece season is about, and then have a solution that's based on that. All of their equipment and everything they bring has to come to that interview. There's going to be a short 5-minute Q&A after that, and then they're going to go into a robot design. Again, be sure to have your teams bring your robots into the robot design interview, because again, even though it's not required per se, as far as you have to bring your robot and show, but keep in mind, the one thing that I'm gonna stress to you guys is that my judges, or all the judges in any of the tournaments, will use the rubrics as the only scoring tool. There is nothing else that we use to figure out what how you rate as far as what your team does. It's based on the rubrics. So introduce the rubrics to your teams as soon as possible. Let them know that whatever they do is going to be based on that scoring rubric. So again, in order for the judges to be able to figure out things like durability of your robot, how consistent your robot runs, they need to be able to see a mission. So the judges, if you already haven't set that up, the judges will ask you to run a mission so that we can be able to evaluate some of those things. We also ask that you bring some code, or at least have the students be able to explain the code, because again, that's one of the parts of the rubric that the judges will need to figure out, like how well the students are able to explain how their code works within the strategy of their entire board game that they actually done, and how their attachments actually work. Again, and there'll be a 5-minute Q&A for robot design. And then core values is a little bit different. In years past, they actually used to do a core values activity, but it's just a 3-minute Q&A session now. So what the judges will do is they'll ask the team, not just, hey, how do you guys do core values in your team? It's going to be, give us specific examples of how you guys actually, your team actually exhibited it throughout the entire season. On top of that, hopefully you can see in the rubric that we will be taking a score of gracious professionalism from the referees on the tables. And the core values scoring actually will also go through all of the interviews, how the team treats each other and so on. Everything like that throughout the entire day is going to come back as feedback for that core value score there. Okay. Couple things as far as tips go. Like I said, rubrics is it. Make sure your teams understand what they're being scored by. Just like in school, we give them rubrics to beginning to let them know what the goal is. That rubric is the goal that we're going to be scoring them against. And then the other part is, in the past, we've always passed back the rubrics to the teams and make sure that there's written feedback on there so that you as coaches can go back and, help your team to get better, whether it is advancing or even at least talking to them after as far as, what went right and things like that. There might be some feedback on the rubrics, but first is change a little bit of their thinking. Most of the feedback from judges is going to be orally to the team at the end of the 30-minute presentations. So they'll give the feedback there orally. They might write some things down for the most part, but all of it is going to be given orally to the team. So make sure you ask your team to remember what the judges say so that they can give that feedback back to you, maybe right after they come out of the room so they don't forget. But that's a big change actually that happened in the last couple of years as far as first goes. Okay.
Derek and Chris.
Okay, so like David was saying, that if you didn't compete last year, like things changed a lot. So what happened is last year, first decided that to kind of open up the board a little bit more, there's a second base. So if you haven't competed last year, then when you saw your board for the first time, you should have seen that there are 2 launch areas that you can use. And so the main thing is that you can start from either side in the beginning. Really important that you cannot pass anything from one side to the other side by hand. The robot needs to get from one side to the other. The one exception is if you take a touch penalty because your robot is outside of base and the wrong side grabs it, they can hand it to the other side and it can go that way. But you'd still lose a precision token for that. So when you show up to a tournament, you're gonna have 3 2.5-minute matches. There's gonna be tables right next to each other, but you are not competing against the team next to you. So what happens is they're running simultaneously, but for the most part, there's very little interaction between the teams. You're just worried about what your highest score is. And the highest out of the 3 is gonna be the one that counts to your final overall score. So what needs to happen is that the teams need to show up with their robot. Inspection will be done at the table. They don't need to have any previous inspection. All of the programs need to be on there. I know that with the spikes, you cannot turn off the Bluetooth, but we will make sure that there's nothing transmitting to the robot brain at the time. And then, as far as the coaches go, your coaches aren't allowed in the areas. They're allowed to be on the side taking pictures, but not in the match area. It's not really your time to still be coaching. You can cheer on your team, but we really want the kids to be the ones who are doing everything at that point. Chris, is there anything you want to add? Yeah.
Yeah, Chris.
So a few notes from the referee's point of view is that the referees themselves are not going to be trained in knowing exactly how much points the kids will get at the end of the match. That will be given, the referees basically just check off a check sheet and give them to our score on the day of. So usually the kids will come ask our referees, like, they'll ask them like, oh, how much points did I get? And then the referees would have to defer them to, please, like, go back to your seats. We'll usually show them on the screen later on. So that's just something that the referees will not know how much points they get. Also about the launch areas, how do I say this? I think you need to have kids on either side of the launch area. For example, if you have 3 kids, 2 of them need to go into the right and 1 of them needs to go into the left. You cannot have all 3 kids on one side of the board at one time. Just to help the referees when they get there, it'd be helpful to have the kids know that ahead of time so that they can easily divide themselves in, and the rest of the kids at the board will have to like stay back. There's usually like a marked off line where the rest of the team can go and they can cheer on their robot operators from there.
Alrighty, tighty. So just a few reminders as we head into the last month before qualifying tournaments. Make sure you stay informed. Read your emails. Read them carefully. Okay. If you are on Instagram and or Facebook, please follow Hawaii First Robotics. I push out a lot of information on Instagram and Facebook. The information is slightly different between the two platforms. I also put it onto our blog on our website, but it's a quick way to get important information. Know the season materials. Make sure you are reading the rule book, reading the coach's handbook, and checking the updates. There's already been some updates, so check the updates. A successful team knows what's going on. Make sure you email your qualifying tournament coordinator. Make sure you let them know your team number, and your volunteers. Make sure your volunteers know their team number, their tournament site, and whether or not they are FLL Challenge or FLL Explore, because sometimes they get a little confused about that, especially during ref training. Make sure they know, you guys. Also, make sure that your volunteers register in First Inspire, so they have to create their accounts and register for the correct tournament. So the correct qualifying tournament, and then if they're also going to register to help us out at the state tournament. They have to complete the youth protection screenings and the agreement in the First Inspire's account. Volunteers must do that. Okay, just a few reminders. Okay. So, wow, I don't think we have that many questions. So let me get out of here. Hold on. Guys, questions?
There's a question about, are you accepting paper registration or just online?
Clyde, is this for your students or for volunteers? If you can go ahead and unmute and answer that for me.
Possibly both. Mostly the children, though. Mostly the youth.
Okay. Maybe you can email me with this question. You guys, we first want everybody to go through the First Inspire system. It's a protection. It's good for everybody. Okay. So if at all possible, we want to go through the First Inspire system, even with the student. You definitely have to get them, because you got to bring your registration paper also, yeah, from the account. But Clyde, if you have any more questions, please email me. Okay. And then I saw Michelle put in a message, if you're coming to the Kalakaua tournament, to please send emails to her, and it's in the chat.
Yes, that would be super helpful if teams that are coming to Kalakaua would send things to that email, please.
Okay, not her K-12 or her DOE one, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Lori, you should be notified of your tournament date and time as soon as we receive payment. So that should be coming from Maria. Yes. Dee, what is your question about the robot game? Go ahead and unmute.
Hi, I was wondering if they can put cargo or leave cargo on the board, because I can't find anything in the rules.
Yes, they can. It's just certain missions. Nothing can be touching those missions at the end of the match. But there's no extra rule about if you're penalized if things are left on the table. You can leave as many things or on the table as you need to.
Okay, so I think somebody, yeah, Judy asking it. So they can attach, they made something for the audience people to sit on. That's okay.
Yeah, so you cannot attach the audience members to something, but you can, like, if you built a container and they're just sitting inside, it still
It's
needs
okay.
to, yeah, it still needs to be that if somebody were to pick it up, it could just fall out.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay,
Okay,
so if my
Please be clear
kids,
about that, you guys. They cannot be attached, right? So if we take the container and we turn it upside down and the people don't fall out, that's attached. You know what I mean?
okay, because I'm wondering about the audience members being connected to the expert. Like, is that even possible?
No, because that's modifying the mission models.
Okay, so they can't attach it. Okay.
Yeah, they can all be in a container. They just cannot be attached, like actually stuck to each other.
Okay, so if my kids have like a Lego piece and two audience members are stuck on there, cannot.
No.
Got it. Okay.
That
Thank you.
would be considered like modifying, right? So Troy, that's the
Okay.
same thing as for you. That's like modifying your model pieces, which you're not allowed to do.
Okay. Thank you.
David, there's a question about trainings for judges.
Great. Yeah. So all the judge training are online this year. Honestly, you know, we could do one, but the training, the videos that you watch are actually from FIRST, and they're actually very specific. I would just be giving you I would just be going over the same videos for you. So if you watch the videos, if you have any questions, or if your judges have any questions, obviously you can ask me. Your judge advisors for your tournament will be trained to answer those questions also. But again, the best training actually comes from these online videos that they're going to talk about specific examples. And so again, they're all online trainings. They're a set of videos that goes through certain examples and how the judges actually.
How do they access, how would the judges access those videos, or how would they get those videos, David?
So on October 21st, there will be a judge advisor training. That's when I'll give all the information to the judge advisors. They'll pass that on to all of the judges who are registered as judges for the tournament.
I was also just going to say that tournament coordinator, I email all of the judge volunteers and provide them with the information for how to access the training.
Sounds good. Really? That's all you get? That's all the questions? You guys are doing so good. You guys are returning. Oh.
Luana. This
Yeah.
is Lisa, sorry. I don't know. I can't find the chat from this angle.
Sure. What's up?
Can we get that before the 23rd so that we can send to our judges the videos?
Yeah, we can. That's fine. I have them all ready to go. But like I said, we normally try and train our judge advisors so that they can answer questions too. But we can send them out so they can start watching them. That's fine. If you guys have your judges ready.
I promise I'll still come to the training, but I'm panicking on timing of getting everything set up and making sure everybody's comfortable, because we got a lot of new people on our team this year.
Yeah, we'll get that to you.
Okay, I appreciate it. And I'm also old school, not new school, so I've got to get up to date too. Thank you.
Okay, Troy, your question, again, so what happens in the judging session is there is one judge that's responsible for each of the interview types. So one judge is a robot design judge, one judge is a core values judge, and one judge is an innovative project judge. And so again, all of the judges can ask at any time during any of the interviews, but the main questions will come from that one judge for that interview, because again, they're kind of responsible for moderating all three judges and making the final decision on the scoring rubric. So that's why questions for each interview pretty much comes from one judge, and a different judge though for each of the interviews.
Oh, so like not all three judges are helping to, I guess, ask questions for the kids and.
Well, again, each judge is responsible for their section. In the past, they used to break those up in states, but right now there's only 3 judges for the entire set of. In the past, we used to have 3 judges for each of the interviews. So 3 judges for what design, 3 judges for core values, and 3 judges for the project. But now it's just 1 judge for each of the sections in that interview process. So again, like I said, sometimes the other judges will ask questions, but for the most part, that 1 judge is kind of responsible for making sure that all of the boxes are checked as far as we know where each team lies in each category. So they're actually responsible for asking those questions. Some of the other judges might, turn to that 1 judge and ask, hey, what about this part? And but again, that 1 core values judge will ask most of the core value questions in the interview.
Because at the States, like our team, our team got like some 3s, some 2s, but there was like no comments of like any like thing that they could have improved on. And so it was kind of
like I said, starting last year, the emphasis from first was not about the written comments. It was about giving the oral feedback to the kids. So that's why, like I said, make sure you ask your kids to, again, if you want to talk about it with the kids, ask them what the oral feedback was from the judges, because some judges might write things, but for the most part, they prepare all of their feedback for the kids.
Can they at least take the 5 minutes to continue asking questions then?
I'm not sure what you mean.
No, like they asked the kids like 2 questions and then they were done. Like they're done scoring, even though they had 2s on the rubric, and they could have asked clarifying questions or something.
I mean, I don't know what that specific situation was, but again, the judge's job is to figure out where in the rubric they are. Maybe that's where they were on the rubric, and so there wasn't any more clarifying questions to ask. Again, we're trying to the best job we can with volunteers. These are all volunteers coming in, and they're looking at the rubric and they're trying to rate the teams based on that rubric. They have a set of questions that they suggested that they ask, but if those questions were answered in the presentation, and a lot of times they might not have questions. Does that make sense?
I see your questions about the gifts thing. I will bring that up at planners, or I'll send out an email and we'll talk about it, and we'll send something out to all the coaches about that. Okay. And always keep in mind, coaches, nobody's ever required to give a gift, okay? But let me bring that up with the planners and we can make a blanket statement at some point. James asked about exemplars for the research project. Hey, James, no, we don't really have exemplars here. Just like David was saying, I highly suggest going over the rubric carefully and making sure you're speaking to all the parts of the rubric. It's not necessarily the judge's responsibility to tease out the answers from the kids. If they don't present it, they don't present it. Okay, so as far as asking more questions, they can ask clarifying questions, but not necessarily saying, oh, you're missing this part. Can you speak to that? That's not their job. So once again, know the rubric, prepare with the rubric, things like that. That would probably be a really good idea. David, Dee is asking a question about the presentation time limit. Does a 5 minutes include setup time?
Yes, it does. So we normally tell our judges to as soon as all of the team members come in and they, they come in and the entire team is in the room, and the judges will say, hey, welcome, your time starts now. So it does include setup, whatever elaborate setups that they have. Again, that all is included in that 5 minutes.
Okay. New coaches, how are you guys doing? Do you guys understand how the matches are gonna run? Keep in mind, coaches, there's no audience in the judging rooms, right? So no coaches, no parents, it's the judges and the kids. So the match area, if you guys are going to be inviting guests to the tournament, then you want to invite them during the match time. During states, we haven't set up our schedule yet, but we'll probably be doing a similar format to last year's. So we'll be mixing in the matches with the interviews as the day goes on, right? So some teams had interviews and then 3 matches. Some teams had a match, an interview, and 2 matches, okay? Because of the format, we'll probably mix it up like that during states. During tournaments, probably it'll be interviews and matches, but that's for your tournament coordinator to tell you about. Yes, the recording will be available on that link I sent out.
Wait, clarify.
Oh,
I don't think the live stream worked. We could have audio, but there was no video. So we are recording it. So we will, as soon as we are done here, I'll set up another link that will have this recording on it.
And then I'll email it out. I won't be posting this one. I'll emailing it out to the coaches. I'd appreciate it if this was handled with the coaches and not sent out to the students or the parents.
And also, I mean, really, for the coaches, if there's any questions that come up, email one of us. Either email all of us, or if you email one of us, we'll get it to the person who can answer the question. And then the $150 is for the whole season that you paid earlier. District tournament and state tournament, it covers all of that. We're still looking at the numbers, but it's looking like not everybody will make it to state. So the top half will automatically advance, and we'll fill in the rest of the spots, whatever we can fit at Wailua with the alternate pool, which is everybody else.
James, no real restriction. You're restricted by size as far as your attachments, and you're restricted by using Lego parts. But other than that, your attachments are fine. It's just upon launch and relaunch, they must fit within the launching area. And I think a height limit of 12 inches, Derek?
Yeah, 12 inches.
Upon launch and relaunch. And then that's in the rule. Yeah, the game rules. But other than that, no.
And then Anna, if it starts in the launch area and you press start and then it goes into home, as long as the students don't touch it, that's perfectly fine. And then Judy had a question about the teams of districts. District tournaments are probably between 10 and 20. So depending on where you go. But yes, to come back to home, the entire robot needs to be, the entire robot and everything that it's carrying needs to be past the boundary line.
Be careful about that, because that's
really
a problem
important.
with, yeah.
So if
Don't
your
let
robot
the
is bringing
kids
something
touch
back,
it.
if your robot's bringing something back, and even though the whole robot's in past the line, if what they're carrying isn't past the line, they'll lose whatever they're carrying.
Okay, so the core values component, again, there is really no core values component. There is no, again, in the past, we used to do a activity to to have the kids, so the judges could be able to see the team at work. That is no longer part of the interview process. Again, like I said, there's a 3-minute Q&A, just asking the kids about how they do exhibit the core values throughout the season. And again, a lot of it is actually observing them throughout the entire interview process and the entire day on the on the matches, also in table matches. So that's what that core value is actually made up of this now. They do not need, well, again, they don't need a board. If you want to bring a board, that's fine, but there will be no presentation. If, for instance, they bring a board and the judges ask them questions about, hey, how did you, distribute, how did you exhibit core values throughout the season, and they're able to point at it and talk to the judges and answer the question that way, that might help, and that would be great, but you don't need to bring any materials for the core values.
I did want to stress also that David had mentioned core values is also part of the actual match. So if you look at the score sheet for the match, that it's available on the first website and stuff also. But if you look at it, there is an area where gracious professionalism is part of what they are rated on. Okay, so I know the kids get like so excited and so bummed out, and sometimes, if their mission doesn't work, or sometimes like every once in a while they start yelling at their teammates, that's a no bueno. Okay, that's like a no good thing. They should be cheering each other on, and hey, that's okay, let's try it again, kind of a thing. And oh, you guys, I was a coach. I know how hard that is to get into the kids, but that's kind of what we're looking for on the match table, and something also to keep in mind too is coaches at the tournaments, the refs don't talk to the coaches. We talk only to the kids. So let the kids advocate for themselves in a professional, gracious professional way, right? Ultimately, it's the ref's call. We train all our refs to do benefit of the doubt, but ultimately it's the ref's call or the head ref's call. So by all means, have your kids advocate for themselves, but be accepting of the outcome in a gracious way.
Question about the innovation project presentation. The solution to the problem that you present in your project does not have to have any robotic components. It is totally a solution. It may not even have to be some model that's there. It could be a solution that's on paper, whatever it is. There is no requirements for that at all.
No secret shoppers.
Are we talking about the core values, or?
Yeah, I was talking about the core values.
No,
so you got me intrigued when like you're observing them all the time. I was thinking like, so you just got somebody walking around like watching a kid. Oh no,
the referees are the ones.
Referees,
yeah, the referees.
Referees actually, the referees actually turn in a
match,
score. Yeah.
When they come to the match area, the referees will give them a core values rating. So not all the time, but when they come to the match area, that is one thing we are looking for.
Oh, they got a big job this time around.
But we do have eyes and ears everywhere. If there are incidents or anything, even in pits or anything, we've had reports come in, and we've had to take that into account as far as whether it is part of core values or not. So.
Anna, yeah, the time limit is 30 minutes, but remember it's broken up into the different parts, right? So 30 minutes total, but they only have a certain amount of minutes for each part.
So if you look at the rubric for core values, there is a one-liner that has gracious professionalism and is rated 321. The referees actually give me a number of 321 for each of the matches, each of the rounds of matches, and that goes into the calculation of their score for the core values interview.
And there is always gracious professionalism in every first event, first program. It's one of our core values. There's always gracious anyway. And that's a great question about bringing your own mat to practice. We ask that the teams do not bring them to practice on your own. You will be asked, you'll probably be asked to bring a mat for the actual tournament, whether it's to be used in the judging room, the interview room, or in a pit or in a match area, but we do not allow teams to just bring random mats to practice with. There should be a pit table set up at every qualifying tournament, so you might have to sign up to use it, but please don't like set it up on the side. Okay, so I think we're just about done. David, you want to thank you everybody for coming. Okay, first of all, thank you so much for everybody coming. I hope this was helpful. And now, if we're going to stop the recording at this point. If you're done, then you're more than welcome to go. I will stay on for a couple more minutes. If anybody else has any other questions, James Bright, don't leave. Okay, but for the rest of you guys, you're more than welcome to stay on and just go ahead and ask some more questions. If not, thank you so much once again for coming out. And let's stop that recording. Okay, awesome. If you guys gotta go, go. If not, stay, and we'll stay a couple more minutes. I see a few more questions just popped in. Oh, just thank you, guys. Oh, thank you. You guys are so sweet. James, what school are you at?
Kahumanu Elementary.
Oh, I'm so glad to see you back. I saw your name and I was like, oh, James.
Oh, so you're coming to our
Very good. Very
to
good.
our tournament.
He was assigned to Kalakaua.
Kalakaua.
Coming to our tournament?
Yep.
James, you are?
Right, James.
Excellent.
Hi, James.
Yeah, we were saying hi to James. Sorry, Luana.
Yeah.
We miss him.
I know. I know.
How's your acting career going?
It's pretty cool. I did a Hawaiian language Julius Caesar at UH last week.
Cool.
Yeah.
Don't forget to invite us if we can attend to things. You haven't changed a bit. I don't know how you didn't age.
I keep telling my wife that I have all this white in my beard now, but she's like, "Oh, you got white in your beard." So, boy.
Maria, I have a quick question. So, we've got 3 teams this year. What is the likelihood of them all being able to participate at Kalakaua tournament?
So on the spreadsheet, we actually have the 3 listed.
Okay.
So it's right. So if you did the third team is already there, basically.
All right,
So
perfect.
I would say 100%.
All right.
Yeah.
That makes my life so much easier and Malia and Derek's life so much easier. So, all right, that was all I wanted to know. Thank you.
Hi.
Okay, I think we're good. David, is there any more? You're gonna have to send me a new link.
Yeah.
Okay.
Later on tonight, as soon as I
Yeah,
find
no
out
worries,
who
no
it
worries.
is.
No worries.
I have a
Hey,
load
Sarah.
of questions. Okay, one, Maria, I hope you got my email.
Oh, James, I'm sorry. You can go now.
To be here forevermore.
Yeah, you don't have to be here. This is just other stuff.
Okay, so Maria, I think my issue is I need to be the Iversazim email that I sent you. I don't have it connected unless I don't know if I can change the email on my First Inspires.
I have no idea. What we can try to
Should
do
be
is,
able to.
okay, Derek has an idea.
No, but you should be able to change your email on your First Inspires because we were all told we had to change ours to our first partner's email address. So if we did it, you must be able to.
Okay, so I can change it to my Gmail account then?
Yeah, and I think Michelle changed hers also.
Okay, so then if,
email account.
yeah, if I change it to my Gmail account, do you have to re-invite me for the coordinator?
Yes. Oh, you already accepted.
No, I have never gotten an invite.
Okay, then.
Yeah, I accepted.
Teresa accepted.
Yeah.
But it was sent to my Gmail account and my Inspires is under my Iversosm. So I've never been invited. So I don't have anything showing.
Okay. So yeah. When you switch the account, the email account, if that's where if you're switching it to the one that I sent you the invite to, it should automatically appear. If it doesn't, text me and I'll take care of it.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Then my other question is, in regards to our tournament, are a lot of the outer island teams coming to our tournament, and where are we getting the mats for like our rooms and those places from? Does that question make sense?
Yes, yes, it does. And so Maria, sorry, did you respond to me today, Maria?
No.
Yes.
Did you send me?
Yes.
Wait.
Yeah.
Which account?
Yes.
All right. Which email? Was it the Gmail or the
No,
First
no.
Inspire?
I
Or
sent
the
you a text. I sent you a
hell.
Sorry, Maria. I
I'm
sent you a
like, I
text
don't
about
see
the
any
outer.
emails. Okay, yeah, that one.
So we're still waiting on money from all the outer island teams, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So they're
think we
all.
need- I think we need to let them know what's up just in general. Like, do they have to pay a registration fee, and then do they get their travel costs reimbursed, maybe, or whatever? Yeah, and what day they're anyway. Yeah, I think a communication to the neighbor island teams makes sense.
Okay. So they're all scheduled to come to Kapolei.
Yeah.
Sarah. Okay.
And when we say neighbor island, I'm just talking about Maui and Kauai because Big Island is already.
Yes. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So as far as the mats, okay, we can you can get one from me. You can get
Chris has
Kristen's
one.
mat. Okay. And then you can ask all your other teams to bring them. Okay. And if they're still not, if you're still short, we'll talk to Derek about getting more mats.
Okay.
I think what we did, if we have the judging happen first and then have the matches, the sets, if they're, assuming you have at least 4 really good sets, you're okay, because you've got the match sets can leave the judging room and come to the match as long as you haven't lost anything.
Yeah.
Make everybody bring their sets in case you need a spare piece.
But don't take the one from Luana and the one from Chris and put them in the judging room.
Oh, no, those ones, the ones we get from them will go on the match, because we were going to set up 4 tables for the matches, but
We only have 4.
as of right now, we only have 4 teams.
Oh, you're going to get more teams. You guys are,
You sure?
have you guys looked at, okay, does everybody have access to the teams data on Google Docs?
Sarah, look at that spreadsheet. There's a lot of teams heading that are in the works. We just are waiting for their payment.
Yeah, but the 9th isn't far away.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, yeah.
But a lot of those teams I have
And then the
heard nothing.
complaint.
I've heard nothing from.
And we have one team that we sent to Maria. We let Maria know they complained that they were posted with us.
Yeah, they said, oh, it's so far, we don't. So anyway, yeah, it's a.
Were you
learning
able to talk
experience.
to them, Maria?
No, not yet.
I told them that we were looking into it and
Yeah.
that we get back to them as I welcome them still and said,
Yeah.
we're really excited. Sorry to hear that you don't want to be out at Kapolei. We're looking into why you were, I pretended like I didn't know that they didn't pick a place. I said
Yeah.
why you would be given the place you didn't want. And I figured that would be a good lead in for you to say, hey,
Yeah.
you didn't pick a place, so we put you out there.
Do you know which team that was?
That was Queen, no,
Kailani Elementary.
Princess something.
Yeah,
Oh.
Kailani Elementary.
Especially since they're only right down the street from us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they said they wanted to
But
be
they-
in town, that they had thought they were in, because last year they were in town, they just thought they
They
would be.
just assumed.
Yeah, in town again.
Yeah.
Who got to read and follow directions?
Yeah,
Mhm.
last year they were with us.
Yeah.
You got to read and follow
So-
directions. Anyway, yeah, really.
Is there a potential for us to get an odd number amount of teams?
Do you want an odd number of teams?
No, I don't, but I just
Okay.
don't know how many people are gonna get their stuff in.
Yeah, we're trying to.
Yeah.
I'm aiming for an even number, just because it makes life easier when you're running your
Thank
batches.
you.
But just, I mean, if there is an odd number, you just pull somebody to do an exhibition.
So it doesn't matter who.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because even if you have an even number, if somebody doesn't show up, then you have an odd number. And likewise, if you have an odd number and somebody doesn't show up, then you have an even number, but you're still scrambling,
Right.
to a certain
So
extent.
because we have a lot of teams coming from Outer Island,
Possibly. Yeah.
do we need, like, is having the interviews start at 9 o'clock okay? But
Yep.
they should be placed in the later times, so they have more
Yep.
time to get there, right?
You know, one of the nice things about a smaller tournament is you can start at a reasonable hour and still finish at a reasonable hour.
Okay,
But if they don't make,
yeah.
okay, so contingency plans, I'm trying to think about, if they don't make it, whatever reason, their plane didn't make it, they couldn't get their car, are we supposed to let them still, like, how long do we have to give them before we have to say, sorry, you didn't make it in time? Or is there that limit?
I think they need to make sure that they contact you if if they're running late.
Okay.
They cannot just show up and say, hey, oh, it's because we had a problem at the airport. Like, they didn't do their part too and tell us these things.
Okay, we'll make sure.
I would try to accommodate them as much as possible.
Yeah.
Outer Island teams have it a bit more rough than Oahu teams. You know, the travel, the costs and stuff like that. We're gonna stipend them. Maria, I'm still waiting on that response from Hiko. Carolyn did send an email out to them, but I have not seen anything come back from them yet. So
Yeah.
as soon as we hear something, then I'll get with you and we can communicate with those teams.
We're using our teachers, so I'm sure they'd be willing to, the compassion of a teacher, and be willing to listen, and we can even just leave one room set up just in case for latecomers then, if that's okay. We didn't know. That's what I'm
Yeah.
checking.
Derek, do you know, is it typically a problem? I mean, you're at Kalani, right?
Last year they made it.
Yeah.
We had one team that had to leave really early, so we had to change so that they could do their third match. So we had to push them up, but that's the same team that left states early.
So are
And I
these
had to go
are
pull
there any
their
teams that
medals?
are there any teams that haven't come before?
No. They've all come
So
before.
so just remind them, I think, that the matches are scheduled and things like that ahead of time. So try and leave enough, make sure that you schedule your flights with enough time to make it there.
Yeah, usually they're really good about it, and we just tell them, like, we'll make sure that we don't schedule you in the first group, so that they have some time to get to us.
Okay.
Do we
And
need
Sarah, I forgot to tell you, but Sarah Dule is reffing at your tournament also.
Yay! Katie?
I just completed my registration.
Okay,
Yay,
well,
thank
I
you.
need to switch my things and then hopefully I can see everyone who's registered.
Yeah. So just check it and then tell me if you need me to resend it
Okay,
and to which email.
yeah, I'm gonna switch it to the Sarah Iverson 808 Gmail.
Okay.
So that's the one you've been sending it to.
Okay.
And everybody can see the team's data on Google, right? I'm gonna,
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay, who can't see it or who doesn't have it? I should post it in the chat. Everybody has it? Okay, there you go.
Well, Teresa doesn't have access. Yeah, only the FLL planners have access.
Oh,
But I
okay.
mean, I have
But Sarah
access.
has
Yeah.
But
access.
Sarah has
to
access.
it.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
can give her the stuff she needs.
Okay.
I mean, if you, Maria, if you want, you can give access to that file to your coordinators.
Mm,
But I don't know. Up to
well,
you.
yeah.
If you're relying
got
on
pretty
them to
much every-
check that, you would need
No,
to.
not yet. Usually, it used to be that we would wait until all the teams are settled and then give everybody a
Yeah.
list.
Yeah.
Because
I know
otherwise,
it
if you're
is.
moving people around, then you gotta move them and tell somebody that they moved and tell somebody else that they
Yeah.
moved.
Sarah and Teresa, I know you guys are both like anal ass, like planners and stuff like that. I get it. I feel you guys. And I'm so sorry, but because you guys are the noobs on the block, this tournament is a little rough as far as timing. You just gotta like flow with it. So you can kind of see, oh, Maria, there was one Hawaii team that was on their list as possible, and that needs to move.
Oh, for
There
real?
were
Okay, oops.
There were 2 Hawaii teams on their list,
Three.
and one of them is already on Kealakehe, and the other one was not, and that
Oh,
one has
okay.
to
Are
move.
those the ones you highlighted? Oh,
Yes,
okay. Yeah.
correct. Yeah. So
I will delete that row.
And thank you, Luana, but we really, our main goal is not to disappoint any of you guys.
no, that's just it. You guys have already not disappointed us.
Oh,
Trust
we're
me.
good.
You know, I know all of you guys in the past, so don't want to make A.
No, I think
These are
it'll be fabulous. It'll be fabulous.
And
It
some
will.
of, sorry, and some of the potentials on that list have also been, signing up and whatnot. So,
Okay.
like Mary Star of the Sea Elementary School.
Baby.
Yeah, is
Yeah.
that in the Kahala one?
Yeah.
That's where I graduated. Trying to figure out who the person is that's doing that.
David Ikas.
Yeah, he used to be from Aikahi.
Oh.
He was the Aikahi tournament coordinator.
He's
He was
a
the
good
coach from Aikahi too, that's why.
he's a good guy. Good guy.
Okay. Oh, good.
Okay. So then if we need the big wooden tables, like we should ask our teams to bring that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if not, I mean, we can haul it. We might want to haul it the week before.
Oh man.
Because I don't think like we don't have as many people to ask because they're coming from outer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you got to get more teams in your neighborhood.
Well,
Which is,
there's a-
hopefully this
did,
will
but-
start it.
We did, but they wanted to go to town.
They're at Mililani and they're at Kalakaua or yeah, Kalani. No, they're at Kalani or Mililani.
That's the preference, but that can change.
No, they've already
Yeah,
been
like,
confirmed.
why is St. Joseph going all the way?
I know.
Whole mall too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
You know what, you guys, really, I really just think this is Kapolei is new.
Yeah, I think
They
so.
just don't know how fabulous it's gonna be.
Yeah.
We'll rock it out, and then next
It's a
year we'll be
building
able to
year.
book.
It's a building year.
Yeah.
And then we can talk to all of them at state after and say, hey, guys,